Mike Dasilva is first at 6 with this story. Mike.
Katya, here's the city ordinance. Now, Victor Ramos, the mayor of Bishop, says he thought by passing this ordinance, he was helping police crack down on eight-liner game rooms, and that eight-liner game rooms would not exist in Bishop. But the exact opposite has happened. In fact, 2 eight-liner game rooms have popped up right next door to City Hall on Main Street. One of them, says the police chief Larry Lawrence, has up to 45 eight-liner machines inside. The brick building across the street reportedly has at least 30 machines. And despite the fact that all this is reportedly above board and allowed by the city, no one would let us inside the game rooms. We waited outside literally all day as people showed up to play. We did try, but we couldn't get in, and no one would talk. Please open up! The city passed an ordinance. It's open to the public. Please open the door. Mike Dasilva, Channel 3 News. Ma'am, 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 can we talk to you? Ma'am, can we talk to you? Ma'am. Now, this is the confusing part, because if there's no illegal activity going on inside, then what is there to hide? The Bishop Ordinance says it allows the operation of game and amusement devices, but prohibits the operation of illegal gambling devices. But District Attorney Mark Skirka is not buying it.
They passed an ordinance basically said that people can operate these machines legally. It's been my experience that no one can operate these machines in a legal manner that makes any money. They're worthless if you operate them legally, because they don't pay anything. So why would anybody want to go in there and put in their money into a machine that pays them no benefit, no cash, no gift card, no nothing?
Now, Bishop Police Chief Larry Lawrence says he already has received information that at least one of the game rooms is making illegal cash payouts. The chief says he's currently collecting evidence on that game room to enforce the ordinance and make an arrest. The city has a permit fee, by the way, of $500 per eight-liner device. So the city is collecting lots of money on these game rooms.
The Jim Wells and Duval County Sheriff's Departments working together to capture 3 suspects that they say are responsible for vandalizing 200 gravestones in San Diego over the weekend.
Yeah, the suspects charged with criminal mischief were brought to the Jim Wells County Sheriff's Department today, and our Mike Dasilva was the only reporter there as the suspects arrived. Mike?
That's right, Joe and Katya. Lots of folks finding it hard to understand how anyone could do such a thing and why they would do such a thing. I had the chance to ask one of the suspects about just that. How would you feel if someone did that to one of your family members where they're buried?
Angry?
You understand how someone would be extremely upset about that? What do you think should happen to someone who does something like that? Authorities say 27-year-old Chris Fuentes, heard right there, is also a registered sex offender. 17-year-old Emilio Peña and 28-year-old Rita Marie Alanis are also charged with committing the vandalism at the San Diego cemetery over the weekend. Just how much it will cost to repair all of the gravestones is unknown. An arrest warrant issued for a Kingsville ISD school board member who's also a well-known business owner. A grand jury has indicted Rudy Macareno on charges of indecency with a child and aggravated sexual assault. Our Mike Dasilva was in Kingsville for us today on that story. Mike? That's right, Joe. And at last check, he had not turned himself in or been arrested yet. The indictments came down late yesterday afternoon. And as I found out today in Kingsville, lots of folks, including those closest to Mr. Macareno, were apparently unaware of the news. That certainly was the case at the offices of the Kingsville Independent School District. The Assistant Superintendent, Karen Griffith, said she was not aware that Mr. Macareno had been indicted and that my bringing it to her attention was the first time she was hearing of it. We went and searched for Mr. Macareno himself at both of his businesses in town, but he was nowhere to be found at Pure Platinum Gym or at Macareno Signs, which is right across from Claybrook Elementary School. We did, however, come across Macareno's wife as she pulled into their driveway. Do you know that he's been indicted for indecency with a child and aggravated sexual assault?
No, I just got home.
He was indicted yesterday by a Claybrook County grand jury.
No, I don't know. No.
This is your first time hearing about this?
Right now, yeah.
What's your reaction to it?
I don't have a reaction.
Does it shock you?
Would it shock you?
Kingsville ISD says Rudy Macareno has been a school board trustee since May of last year when he was elected. We're told District Court Judge Angelica Hernandez has set bond on count 1 at $50,000 and on count 2 at $175,000. We also caught up with Rudy's brother, Johnny, and coming up at 6 o'clock, you'll hear what he has to say.
Well, a traffic stop on Highway 77 lands a Kennedy County woman in hot water with the feds. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kathy Uriarte.
And I'm Rudy Trevino. That woman, Sandra Lee Miller, is the wife of a justice of the peace and has recently run for public office herself. Mike Dasilva has been on the story all day and is first at 5 with what kind of trouble Miller's facing.
Sandra Lee Miller is charged with bringing in and harboring illegal aliens. 41-year-old Sandra Lee Miller's arrest all started with a traffic stop around 6 o'clock yesterday morning. Happened on Highway 77 about a quarter mile south of 285. The Hummer Miller was in was stopped by DPS for a license plate light violation. Now, Border Patrol says there were 9 illegal immigrants in the vehicle from Ecuador, Honduras, and Guatemala. Border Patrol took Miller into custody and processed her in Corpus Christi. Miller is well known because she recently ran for Kennedy County Tax Assessor Collector, but lost to the incumbent. She's also married to Precinct 2 Justice of the Peace Judge Jerry Miller. We went to the Justice Court in Sarita where the judge works to get reaction, but employees there were less than forthcoming. Is Judge Miller, did he show up to work today?
I don't have nothing to say. I'm sorry.
Well, wait 1 second. You know that his wife was arrested by Border Patrol?
I just work here and that's it. I don't know nothing.
Is he at work today?
I don't know. It's lunchtime. I don't know
Did
anything.
he show up this morning?
I have no comment, sir.
Do you know Sandra Lee Miller?
Yes, I do.
Does it surprise you that she was detained by Border Patrol? There was 9 illegal immigrants in the vehicle she was in. She was stopped by DPS yesterday on 77 in Rivera.
I don't know, sir.
I mean, does it surprise you? Her husband's a justice of the peace.
I
and
have no idea.
She allegedly was smuggling illegal immigrants.
No comment.
We also caught up with the Kennedy County Tax Assessor and Collector. That's the office Sandra Lee Miller ran for, but lost in the recent primary to the incumbent. We spoke with the incumbent. Does it surprise you that her husband's the justice of the peace and she was allegedly smuggling illegal immigrants?
Well, like I said, I don't know, and I didn't get no idea what they were doing or might be doing, nothing like that. It's bad.
The complaint filed against Miller says she aided, abetted, assisted, and transported illegal aliens. Now, that is a federal crime. According to the affidavit, Miller told Border Patrol agents that she picked up the illegal immigrants at the corner of her house and was going to take them to the store. Then she said she wanted to speak with a lawyer before she said anything else. And coming up at 6 o'clock, we go to Miller's home where she allegedly kept some illegal immigrants. We'll reveal a lot more details to this story, and there is a lot more to tell.
So Mike, is she in jail right now? Is she being held?
Well, honestly, we have been trying to get those details from the U.S. Attorney's Office, and there's only a limited amount of information they can reveal. And so they're not saying, you know, what bond is set at, where she's being held. They wouldn't even release the mugshot.
Right.
And Border Patrol says they don't release mugshots, and neither does the U.S. Attorney's Office. I don't know why, but that's what they said.
More coming up at 6, yeah. All right. Thanks for that, Mike.